Now, people who are close to Asantehene have been telling me that whenever he meets Nana Akufo Addo refers to him as a king of kings. And so when I saw the video today, and when Nana Akufo Addo was meeting the Asantehene at the front door of his home in Nima, and he says, King of Kings. I said, oh, wow, so that's true. Because I've heard people who are close to Asantehene say that Akufo Addo always addresses him as King of Kings. I love the camaraderie between the two men, and it looked very, very genuine. It looked very, very nice. Here are some of the photographs. I'll show you the video of Otumfuo telling the story many, 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 many years ago. And I hope that some of us who are now working, when we grow up, will be able to tell the story of such sustained friendship. Asantehene told the story of how himself and Akufo Addo had gone to buy two cars, two Mercedes cars, one for Akufo Addo's mother and one for Akufo Addo himself. And Akufo Addo asked him, Asantehene. At that time, he wasn't Asantehene, he was Bema Kwekudia. And they came to the same house that he visited today to hand over the car to Nana Akufo Addo's mother, late mother, Adeline Akufo Addo, the former first lady. So here's one of the photographs. Let me see whether I can identify the people here. I believe I see Otumfuo. I believe I see Kofi Bedu. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, allow me to say something about this man, Kofi Bedu. This is Kofi Bedu here, and he's been one of the most important journalists of all time. He was a journalist in the independence era, and he ran through journalism. He did sports journalism. He did everything. He became the managing director of the Graphic Corporation for many, 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 many years. He had excellent relations with Victor Owusu and all the forebears of the New Patriotic Party, the UP party. Kofi Bedu was an Nkrumahist, but he was very close friends with the UP people. Today, after retiring, Kofi Bedu is probably pushing 90 years old. After retiring, he serves the Asantehene in the communication space. Kofi Bedu was the managing director of the Daily Graphic for many, many years. I've never had occasion to pay tribute to such a distinguished journalist, and I'm delighted that I have the occasion to do so now. That is Kofi Bedu. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you see him in Kumasi, pay him a salute and tell him that I said that we salute him forever and ever. Kofi Bedu is truly distinguished as a journalist. Many people don't know him. He's not one who looks for the limelight, but he's very, very effective. He's been managing director of the Graphic for about 20 years after being a senior most editor. And he doesn't like the limelight, so you would never hear of him. But that's Kofi Bedu. Very, very important person. Otumfuo the Asantehene, former chairman of the Council of State. You see him over there. This is Nana Sahene, who is like the secretary to the Asantehene. Of course, this Asantehene. I'd like to say something also about this man here. The man in the shirt. He's called Mr. Ebeleduse. Ebeleduse is one of the longest standing friends of Akufo Addo. He's been Akufo Addo's friend forever, from the 1960s up till now. And I once saw him, I believe it was in 2018, at the birthday party in Esla Usu's house. And so I engaged him and I asked him that, why doesn't he? So I sort of introduced myself. So, but I know you. And he started telling me stories about how he saw me in Akufo Addo's house in East Legon. And I said, I know you. You were at Joy FM at the time. I know you. And I said, okay. And Claybell, why didn't you take up any position in Akufo Addo's government? They said, oh, me? I'm not a politician. That kind of thing. He's a very, very nice man. He's a very loyal friend of Nana Akufo Addo, Ebeleduse. There he is. I think Ebeleduse is also pushing 90, I believe so. I think he's a bit older than Akufo Addo, but that's one of the oldest friends of Akufo Addo, Ebeleduse. He also was in the house when the Asantehene went in. Of course, Nite Kotego, my good friend, I'm fighting with him, so I'm not going to say much about him. Every day we are fighting. Nite Kotego, and of course, the venerable First Lady, former First Lady, Rebecca Akufo Addo was also there. This was such an impressive visit that Asantehene visited his friend, one of his best friends. Here is Akufo Addo introducing Frema Opare, the former chief of staff to Nana Asantehene. Captain Koda is another person that I have to speak about here. Captain Koda also is one of the oldest friends of Akufo Addo. Captain Koda, together with Sami Michel and others, and the other guy, Lieutenant, I remember the name. But Captain Koda was one of the principal architects of the June 4th Revolution. The story was told in Burma camp that when Captain Koda drove the Pinsgoa, there's something called Pinsgoa, it's a military vehicle. When he drove the Pinsgoa through Congo Junction on the morning of June 4th, all the people in 5BN knew that the coup had succeeded. Here's Captain Koda. He happened to fall out with Flight Lieutenant Rawlins later on. He went into exile, and in fact, whilst he was in Ghana, they tried to prosecute him under the June 4th, and Akufo Addo was always his lawyer since 1979. Captain Koda has been by the side of Akufo Addo up till today. When you go around Akufo Addo, you see a lot of that. You see a lot of people who have been loyal to him, have been around him for long, Very, very, very long. I mean, some of his bodyguards, they've been with him since 82. I mean, it's amazing. You see that with Akufo Addo quite a lot. I think I've said that before. You see people who have been there for so long, and they are still there. It's a testament to the former president's loyalty to his friends and his people. You can always get that with Akufo Addo. Captain Koda, good evening to you, and thank you very much. That's the Asantehene, the unmistakable figure of Nana Asantehene sitting in there with Akufo Addo. Akufo Addo, people say these days that he doesn't wear his glasses. I don't know whether he's gone for contact lenses. I'll be going to visit him one of these days, and I'll be asking him that, why is he taking off his glasses? And if he gives me the answer, and he wants me to share with you, I'll come and share with you. More of the photograph. Albert Kandapa, the venerable Minister for National Security, was also there in the presence. One of the greatest friends of Akufo Addo as well, Albert Kandapa. Who else is in the picture? Okay, the introduction. This is Dominic Nitiwul, the former Minister for Defense, who is still in Parliament, Member of Parliament for Bimbilla, one of also the loyalists of Akufo Addo, Dominic Nitiwul. Many will remember the speech Akufo Addo gave when he was making him minister about how the two of them bonded so much in Parliament. Dominic Nitiwul has remained on the side of Akufo Addo. And then there you go. I see Adom-Otchere in the photograph as well. I saw Abdullah Jinapo earlier, but I don't have a photo of him now. That's Akufo Addo addressing them. I'll be showing the video where he's talking so you see it. But this was an impressive visit. Asantehene. Oh yeah, this is the photograph I'm looking for. So these are the suspects. The usual suspects. From right to left. Samuel Abdullah Jinapo, former Minister for Lands and former Deputy Chief of Staff. Asensu Boakye, Abdullah Jinapo is Member of Parliament for Damongo. Asensu Boakye is Member of Parliament for Bantama. And then Dominic Nitiwul Bimbilla, and the ultimate Alexander Fenyomake, Member of Parliament for Winneba, Albert Kandapa, former Member of Parliament for Adom-Otchere. These are the suspects, the Akufo Addo loyalists. Abdullah Jinapo has not changed his facial expression. He likes to make this facial expression. And that's, all of them were there. And who is this? It's a Fenyomake making obeisance to the Asantehene. This must have been a very, very good event. Very, very glorious event as well. As Alexander Fenyomake with Asantehene again. There's Asantehene making a point to the group. Are there any more faces that I can identify that I've not spoken about? Bedu says in your photograph over here. I think this is Nana Prempe, but we all know him as Ashimotin, who lost his mother not too long ago. Ashimotin Demrifadrie, as I will say to him these days, he's now Nana Prempe. He's the Millennium Excellence Awards founder, and he still works with the awards that recently delivered his awards event. Here is the same group of people, but with Fawaz, who was also the Deputy Chief of Staff, and now Fremont Pare as well. This is the Akufo Addo squad. Oh, I love this photograph. All the Ahemfo, together with Nana Asantehene and the Akufo Addo people, got a great photograph at the president's home in Nima, where Akufo Addo has retired to, the home that he had lived since the 1970s with his father, and he's retired there. Akufo Addo must feel very good. I mean, to stay in the house at 82, in a house where you have lived since you were 20-something, and at 82, you are still staying in the same house, I think it's a blessing. It's amazing.